Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Luke, and as always, it's a pleasure to have you guys here. I'm happy to be teaching you guys, and today's lesson is going to be pretty short and sweet, and you'll get it, hopefully. No, I'm just kidding, you'll get it for sure. Okay, today we're going to be talking about Spanish indefinite articles. It's pretty simple. I'm going to teach you guys what they are if you don't know, but I'm betting you've heard them in your conversations before, and how to use them and when to use them. So it's pretty simple, just pay attention. Now, the first types of indefinite articles, I'm just going to call them articles from now on out, are una en una, and these are just like our English A. The thing is, in Spanish, nouns are divided into genders. You probably already knew that. So when do you use which one? That depends on the noun. If the noun is considered a masculine noun, even if it's an object, it would be un and then the noun. And if it's a feminine noun, it would be una and then that thing or person or whatever it is. Pretty simple. Now remember, it has to be a singular noun. So it can be a singular person, a place, or a thing. As a place, I mean maybe a building or a house or things like that. Just remember it's singular, so it would be just one. Don't get confused there. And also, don't get confused with the number uno. Uno is the number. Un and una are not the number. They are the indefinite articles. They might mean that there's just one of those things, but it's not the number. So, a few examples. Yo tengo un mejor amigo. José comió una manzana en el recreo. Un león se escapó del zoológico. Mi hermano tiene un lindo auto. ¿Nos podrías sacar una foto? Ana conoce a una chica que se llama Manuela. So notice here how the noun is either masculine or feminine, and because of that, you use un or una. In the first two examples, you have amigo, which is masculine, so it goes with the article un. And manzana is considered a feminine noun, so it goes with una. It's pretty simple. Now, if you look at the fourth sentence, it goes un lindo auto. Now there, the adjective is also affected by the noun's gender. Don't worry about this, I haven't taught you it yet. But just notice that for the future, how the adjective has to fit the noun's gender as well. Now, unos and unas. This is very similar to un and una, just these are the plural forms of them. And their equivalents would be a few or some. That's how we would say it in English. So unos and unas are a few or some. And it's the same concept. If the noun, or nouns because it's going to be more than one, are considered masculine nouns, they would go with unos, and if they're considered feminine nouns, they would go with unas. And remember, it's plural, but it's also low quantity. So if you're talking about 500 people, it's not going to go with unos or unas because it wouldn't really fit the model. It has to be low quantity, just like a few or some. It's the same concept. Now, a few examples. Ayer fui al cine con unos amigos. ¿Me podrías comprar unas papas fritas? Planté unas plantas en la maceta. Vamos a ir al restaurante para comer unas pizzas. Me compré unas nuevas zapatillas en el negocio. Le regalé unos libros a mi abuelo. Notice here again, the noun is either masculine or feminine, and because of that, the article is either unos or unas. So you can play around with this a bit. Two things to have in mind when you're dealing with these indefinite articles, when you're practicing them and trying to use them later on. Think about the noun and what gender it is, if it's considered a feminine noun or a masculine noun. And that, if you don't know, I have a video that's called The Guide to El and La. There, I teach you which nouns, it's pretty much a rule book of which nouns are considered masculine or feminine, which would go with el and la. So you can watch that if you don't already know which nouns go in what gender. And the second thing to have in mind is the amount. So how many of that thing or that person am I talking about? And that's where you're going to define un or unos or una and unas, and you'll go with these 2 steps. It's not that difficult, just takes practice. Alright guys, my name's Luke. You can find me at thelukesimon.com. There's more videos like this one if you're not already on my website. Under this video on my website, you can practice with some questions to get you going and get you even better. If you have any questions, you can contact me here, and I hope to see you again soon. Good luck.